Here with Derek Damon counting down to puck drop. It's the Iowa Heartlanders and the Toledo Walleye. Mediacom keys to victory. And Derek, start of a 3-game home stretch against Toledo and a 6-game homestand. How does it feel to finally be able to sleep in your own bed the last few nights?
It feels really good. I know the guys are really excited to get back and play in our rink. We have a really nice place, and you just feel at home when you're here.
Being on the road is challenging for a lot of reasons. One, you're trying to win in your own or a different environment, but the other thing is you have to find ways to fend for yourself, food, and you're kind of taking care of some other things that might just come more naturally at home. So from that perspective, when you think back on that as a player, how much of an advantage is it to sort of have those few days leading up for a home game from those side of things?
It is an advantage. You know what you're going to have when you're at home. You know that you're going to either make your food or you've got a certain spot that you always go to. On the road, you don't know how the food's going to be, and so it is an adjustment. But at the end of the day, you got to find ways to get up for games, regardless if you're at home or on the road.
Let's talk about last one for the Heartlanders, 2-1 in overtime. Davis Koch scored the overtime winner on one of the first shifts of overtime, kind of catching the goalie just a little bit off guard there. And hey, it was another tight game that the Heartlanders have played. What were your takeaways last Sunday?
A real gritty, gutty effort from our guys. Started off the road trip last weekend not on a great note, giving up 10 goals. I really liked our guys' effort Saturday night, and even though I thought we deserved more in that KZoo game, to get a point out of that game was a huge plus for us. And then Sunday, the back end of a 3-3, the back end of a 10-game road trip, guys could have easily just said, mail it in, and that's not our team. Our team is an unbelievable group. They bring it every day at practice, and for the most part, they bring it in every game. And that getting those 2 points on the road is huge for us. Obviously, to get our first overtime win, just to get that mental psyche out of the way that, hey, we can do this in overtime, but also just those are 2 points that we desperately need, especially how tight it is in our division.
Yeah, the Heartlanders coming into this game 24 points, still second, but it's so tight with all the teams in the Central Division, including with the Walleye. You take stock of 10 games on the road, and it's a 500 road trip. By no means is 500 over the course of a season the standard, but when you think of a 10-game road trip in which the Heartlanders were able to get 10 points in 10 games, how did that make you and the staff feel?
Going into that road trip, if you would have said to me, hey, you're going to get 10 points on this road trip, and you're going to go 500, would you take it? And I think anybody in professional hockey would sign up for that in a second. 10-game road trip, that's the longest in professional hockey this year. So with that being said, the 10-game road trip is over. We're back at home. We're going against a team that's above us in the standings that we want to catch. We want to set the tone right away, and I expect our guys to come out with a lot of jump tonight.
Toledo's really good in the third period, and then in the second half of games, they have the best goal differential in the third period of any team this year, and they've scored 36 times in basically 20 games in the third period. So when you look at that, a team that is able to perform so well late in the game, what is the video? What's that saying about where the Walleye are at coming into this weekend?
They're an offensively gifted team. They want to play offense. So the quicker we can get to our game, we want to get in on the forecheck and make them have to play defensive hockey, then the better it'll be for us. We got to make sure that we're sticking to our game. I know I say that a lot, but this really means it this weekend that we've got to get to our game and we got to stay on our game, and we want to make them defend because they don't want to defend.
Derek, thanks again for a few minutes. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, David. Have a great game, and it's great to be home.
It is great to be home. We'll be right back to start the homestand next on the Heartlanders Broadcast Network.